Yo, big homie. Thank you for joining me, man.
Absolutely. What's the word? How you living? You good?
Shit, good, bro. You?
Doing good, man. Marvelous. Everything is great.
So yeah, pretty much. I just wanted to ask you a few questions, and before I do that, I just want to say thank you for coming on. I have a channel. It's called the Crypto Connection, where I'm talking about cryptocurrency. I'm talking about one particular cryptocurrency called ICP. It's
Okay.
a crypto that's basically trying to be competition to like Google, Amazon, and stuff
Okay.
like that, allowing people to create websites and everything. But yeah,
No.
I just want to start off with a few questions. I have a few of them written down.
All right. All right.
I seen a video of you where you said Wiz had gotten spooked out one night. What
Uh,
what happened, bro? Like when he got spooked out?
man, so basically the situation with Wiz Khalifa was just like this. We had helped open up a nightclub in Chicago called Room 7, owned by my boy Barris Hermadon. He's a billionaire from construction. Pardon me. Hold on. I'm hot as fuck. He's a billionaire from construction out of Turkey. Me and him got a good relationship, and I bird dogged the place. You feel me? Are you familiar? You familiar with that term?
Nah.
Yeah. So I bird dogged it, help him get the place open. I did Excel spreadsheets. I was also head of security as well, so I did staffing, hiring, and it got to the point where in Chicago I couldn't be every place at once, so I'll be on call all the time. So
Hmm.
got Wiz coming. Where are you at? So me and my brother Dugar, we show up. They call us. We get there, and we get into the area they in. And I asked Wiz that he was my homie Dan Folger there with him. Dan Folger is a guy who was his photographer. He ended up starting a company called Shop GLD. As soon as we asked that, Wiz made a weird look at us. You feel? And Chevy Woods had a joint rolled up. You feel me? He had Dugar the joint. You feel me? Dugar right here. My right hand man at all time.
Good deal, man.
So the man Wiz didn't even perform. He got so spooked in the section, bro. He had to give his backhand back. You feel me?
What? Nah, that Wiz?
Say what?
Crazy.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, that's all facts. Oh my god. Got up out of there. He said, I'm good. See the ghoul. He said, I'm straight. Wild experience, but I didn't expect Wiz to be on. We was his security. We was there to protect him.
Hmm.
He said, "Fuck that." He left.
Wow, what the fuck? That's crazy. All right, so what was your craziest experience as a bodyguard?
My craziest experience as a bodyguard would have to be the night that somebody pretty much poisoned us.
You got poison?
Yeah, so I was out with a group of trust fund kids, and basically to make a complicated story more simplified, some of the kids I was with, they all over 21. They come from very affluent families, and one of them actually had a Secret Service detail, right?
Hmm.
But they had hired us, so they didn't have that detail with them. And man, everybody who drank off that bottle of Grey Goose vodka ended up in the hospital. Uh, I ended up having to ended up being a whole rumble in the club and all type of shit, and I was impaired because man, like I don't know what was in that bottle, but it could have been Rufalin, and that was crazy. Another situation, several shootouts me and Dugas had been in. That's crazy. Just working. So we keep our catastrophic life insurance policy paid and keep a lawyer
Yeah.
later, and we go with the flow.
Hmm.
Sure.
Uh, what what are you invested into? Because you just said that you have like a life insurance policy. Is there like other things that you're interested in that you invest into?
I got some Bitcoin. I got some XRP.
Yeah.
Uh, I got a guy. Well, I don't do the stock trading stuff myself. I got a guy. Merrill Lynch has a wealth management firm, and I got an account with them. And I got money in the market. I'm actually working on getting into real estate now. You feel me? So
Yeah.
Yeah, real estate's the next go to for me.
Heck yeah. All right. What rapper would you say gets the most love, like from women that you've seen, like while like just being out on the job?
What rapper would I say gets the most love from women when I'm out on the job? That's a good question. Most rap probably you talking about like that I did security for or just seen?
I mean, any of them.
It's gonna have to be my boy Big Dugar for sure.
For real.
Ladies love Dugar all day long.
He pulling, he going crazy. That's dope.
Honestly, man, I ain't seen nobody get more female attention than myself. Like the ladies love the boy, so it's like my PO box filled with panties, bras, type of stuff, man. But I will say, actually, man, it's going to be Tayana Taylor.
Okay.
The ladies love Tayana, bro, for sure, for sure.
I'm already knowing.
Definitely gonna be Tayana Taylor,
Okay, let me see. On the internet, there's a lot of talks about like labels getting rappers killed. Do you
right?
think there's any truth to that?
Well, you know what? Like I always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. So why would a label have life insurance on its talent?
Yeah.
That's something we've seen a lot of contracts and agreements guys are signing. And whenever there's large amounts of money involved, the price of life becomes cheaper. And we just seen what happened with Angie Stone. The minute she came out speaking about royalty she was owed, a week later she was dead. As soon as Prince wanted to get his masters, he was dead. Michael Jackson wanted to get his, he was dead. It's not by coincidence, and I'll leave it at that.
Facts. Have you seen Diddy force any artist to come to a party?
Have I seen him force any artist to come to a party? No, I ain't never seen that. I seen him grab somebody by the neck before and ask him, "You want to walk with God, or you want to be a roach, nigga?" Crazy shit like that. I seen that, but like, I never worked for him. I was around him working for other people. Stuff like that. So I never seen him force nobody to go anywhere. I seen him holding hands with two vampires before though.
What you mean two vampires? Like,
Like the white dudes on Twilight.
yeah,
So whenever you see them white dudes like they off Twilight, I call them vampires. You see, as soon as they walk in, somebody cake's gonna get touched. You gotta be on point.
that's crazy.
Which is real.
Uh,
You see what Terrence Howard just said about it? You ain't see that?
nah.
Terrence Howard said Diddy would invite him over to his studio and stare at him the whole time. So he asked his assistant, he said, what does this guy want with me? He said, man, I think he trying to fuck you. That's what Terrence Howard's assistant said to him. So you gotta keep that type of shit. You gotta keep that type of shit in your mind.
That's crazy. All right. What do you think about Whack 100?
Straight clown, federal agent, a goofy. I hate that man. So no. I
What
got
about
respect for him. I don't think nothing of him. If he was a roach on the ground, I'll stomp on him. Facts.
you think you think the No Jumper show does any good for society?
No jumper does no good for society. I personally believe that due to Adam Graham Mason's history, his father getting pardoned by the Clinton administration for committing illicit activities, his father is a 33rd degree master Mason. I believe that his channel is conducive to the destruction of the mind of the youth. I don't think it does any good. Name one thing positive you've seen them talk about on No Jumper.
No, I ain't really seen nothing positive at all.
Yeah, I think they might be a part of a government program to attack the minds of the youth. Honestly,
So you think like everybody on there, Brick Baby, all them people, like they're all in cahoots with all that? Like you think they be like talking to someone else or anything? Or you think like they're just doing it like just to do it?
well, they all do what Adam tells them to do, so they do. They do.
That's facts. That's facts. All right. And since we're on that topic, do you think if Big U was around, would there be a death row?
Big U said out of his mouth that if he would have been on the streets, it wouldn't have been no death row.
Sheesh. Damn.
Big U, they built the character Debo in the movie Friday off of him. Come on, man. It's crazy calling him up on the phone all the time.
Do you, all right, next question. Do you think Nipsey was killed by Big U, or you think that's just like internet talk?
They have audio recordings of Big U saying that he's bigger than Nipsey. Uh, Big U, Nipsey, and his brother have had several physical altercations where shots was fired. I think the relationship was strained. I'm not privy to any details about Big U being directly involved in the murder of Nipsey Hussle. Nevertheless, there have been some very cryptic messages and videos from Big U on his side. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Long live the Crip. I just feel like, culturally in hip hop culture, we kill our greats, and it's never been proven to be government or like people like to say. It's always street politics that lead to these type of events. I do not feel that the guy Eric Holder was a lone actor, though. I don't feel that. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay. What about his homie Cowboy? You think how Cowboy is genuine? I sometimes feel like he's genuine, but there's a lot of people on the internet saying that he might not be and that he's working with Big U.
Well, you don't ever see Cowboy with the All Money In crew. You don't. That's Nipsey's team. You never see Cowboy with them. And, there was a situation that took place where Cowboy was pretty much counterfeiting and knocking off the shirts that were in the Marathon store and selling them outside on the street.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So, that can't be too good.
Yeah.
Facts. So, that's why I always say you either my family or you just an associate because friendship comes with too much responsibility.
Facts. Damn. My brother had wanted to ask you like some questions too, but
Right.
I I'm trying to get him to join this Zoom right now, but it's not allowing him to hop on.
All right. Sure, I'm waiting.
Hold on, let me try sending it to him one more time. Uh, but other than that, like, what advice would you give to like anyone that's just like coming up, that's trying to like get ahead? What would you say like to do? Like if you're young too, like 18, 19.
If you're 18 and 19 and you have a trajectory that you want to follow and you want to change your circumstances, the first thing is to put together a plan. Put together a plan, lay out the steps, attack one goal at a time, structure your credit personally so you can go ahead and be able to bankroll because everything costs money. So you can be able to cover costs and then stay consistent. Don't quit. Stay consistent. Do not quit. Don't be taking long breaks. You got to be active and you got to be organized. Straight like that.
And did you play any sports like back when you were younger?
Yeah. I played football, college, high school, college. I had a practice squad with the Cleveland Browns, Chicago Bears, and then after that, I started my security business.
And for me, like I also do security. I do like armed and unarmed. How
Nice.
how would you say like someone can get into security? Let's say, for example, it's someone that's like not even like big like you. You get me? Like you're taller, more bigger. What if it's someone that's like 5'7", you feel me, 150? You think they could become a bodyguard?
Yeah, the thing, bro. Dugar is not a giant. He's not 6'9", stuff like that. You feel me? And you
Mhm.
got to understand something. The majority of security professionals at the higher levels aren't large size guys. You know, look at Lionel Messi's bodyguard. You know, he's 5'8", 160 pounds. But as you can look up footage of him, you know, he has to sprint across soccer fields to tackle people from getting their hands on Messi. You know, you security is about your skill set, your awareness, and whenever you got a team of security, you got different guys for different things. You're gonna have guys that's crowd control. You're gonna have guys who can. All of the floaters that worked on my teams were not big people. They were smaller frame guys, quick, agile, in shape. Because one time we had got booked to protect a lady, and she liked to ride bikes. She liked to jog. You know, I can't jog next to your bike for 5 miles, but yeah, you probably would have a better chance at that than myself. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It's all about the details of the job. So that's why we always do a proper threat assessment so we can see, because in order to mitigate risk, we got to identify the risk.
Got you. And well, I mean, you obviously kind of said a few things that you need as a guard. What else do you think you would need besides being attentive? Like, do you think you need to be good with a gun? You feel me? Like,
Well, you know, you definitely want to be very versed in firearm safety, proper stance when firing, accuracy. You want to know where to target on the body. You also want to know the different calibers for different situations. Like when it boils down to it, the more skills that you have, the more you can charge people, or array of jobs you can get offered. Because once I did aggressive driving school, that opened up a lot of more opportunities for me because now I could be a driver as well. And let's say you got a motorcade, you got a couple armed guys, you got bulletproof vehicles. If your principal comes under attack and they know that you have aggressive driving school training, yeah, you probably will survive.
mhm. And another thing that I seen you talk about in the other interview, but you didn't really get to elaborate on it as much. You're
Right.
talking about like UFOs and aliens. What's
Yeah.
your experience with that?
Yeah. So, you know, here's the thing with that non human intelligences do exist. Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet identified a location right off the Catalina Islands where they had surveillance footage of UFOs coming out of the water and then going up into space.
Mhm.
All throughout human history, there are artist depictions, cave paintings, and literature of the same vehicles that you see traversing our skies now.
Mhm.
United States government has been holding congressional hearings. Whistleblowers are coming out, and you don't see career military people risking their pension for no reason.
Mhm.
So when you see people that work at Lockheed Martin saying that, look, we got this technology by reverse engineering craft that crashed. You know, CIA documents have come down and they came out and confirmed that the Roswell crash indeed did happen. And after the Roswell crash, we advanced our technology by 200 years.
Mhm.
You know, we wouldn't have had fiber optics without that. So you got to really put in your due diligence on that. Look up a guy by the name of Patrick Jackson.
Patrick Jackson.
He has a book called The Sphere Network. Get it,
Shit.
get it in there.
Got you. And how do you feel about Antarctica? I know that, like, I haven't seen anyone really go to Antarctica. You feel me? What do you think of that? You think they're hiding stuff over there?
When it comes to Antarctica, Antarctica is the only location on the earth where every country on the planet has a treaty that everyone works there peacefully together. You know, Antarctica was not always frozen. You know, there are maps. There are maps from the 12 from hundreds of years ago that show trees and plantations and plant life on Antarctica on the continent. A famous astronaut by the name of Buzz Aldrin. He traveled to Antarctica, and something he saw there gave him a stroke and a heart attack.
Mhm.
Sweden said, "We are in extreme danger. In Antarctica, I seen pure evil." That's what he said.
Mm.
How you doing? How you doing?
What's the word, brother?
That's my older brother right there. He wanted to ask you a few questions too.
What's
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
sir?
what's up, bro? My name's Kyle. Some call me Nam. But yeah, I seen what you guys are just talking about right now. As far as what you say the guy was? You said he was a pilot, or was he like a general or something like that?
Yeah, Tim Gallagher, Rear Admiral, three-star admiral.
Yeah, it's like another dimension under there. He was saying it was kind of crazy.
Uh, there are civilizations that live beneath the ocean floor.
For a fact. How how's your day going though, man?
My day going good. My day going good. 24 hours a day working. You know how I go, grinding, grinding.
Yeah, yeah, same with me. Sorry, I tried to like be a little bit more together, but I have to get it together for tomorrow.
It's all good. It's all good.
But I did want to know like how did you guys already talk about how you became into security?
Yeah, I asked him basically like all the questions that you had sent me.
Oh, okay. What about all the LA questions?
I asked him a few about Whack 100 and about Big U and No Jumper, but you could probably elaborate on anything that you want to ask him about.
Oh, okay. What's your thoughts on the whole LA talking about the street activity on the internet? What's your thought process on that?
You know, where I come from, the streets are a lot more advanced. I try to. I hate all of them motherfuckers. To be honest with you, all I hate every last one of them. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I hate that shit. I hate all of them. There's a bunch of clown shit.
Right.
Guys calling from the feds talking about their active case on the podcast. Crazy work, like
Why open case though? Crazy.
sucker shit. Straight
Okay,
activity. Like I hate that shit.
Do you think that they're like slow burning into snitching? Like like they're basically trying to just let us know from an early point that they probably are snitching?
Well, it ain't no probably, bro. In the paperwork, they said that we got thousands of hours of footage for the evidence for the case off of No Jumper, man.
Mm-hmm.
The man, Loose Cannon, went on there and put insurance on himself, bro. He went on there and implicated Big U in conspiracy,
Crazy.
murder, robbery, and the same shit he said on there is the same shit in the paperwork. So it ain't no if. We see what's going on.
Yeah, you see, like where I come from, I used to be in the streets myself, but I kind of grew out of that once I had my kids. But the way I was brought up is that's dry snitching, and dry snitching gives the same repercussions.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, jail. That's it. All the Crips at No Jumper is in jail. Like
And that lets you know with no jumper on.
clown, goofy shit.
Mhm.
We defeated them though. It was a sweep, blowout, 4-0.
How was your experience over there?
It was cool when we did the interview, but I mean, he didn't. I knew it was a setup though when I got there. He didn't ask me none of the questions that made me go viral. I knew the fix was in, and I handled it appropriately.
He seemed like on your interview that like he was like looking at you in a matter of fact kind of way, like, does this guy really know what he's talking about type of thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I looked him in his eyes. I could tell he was perplexed by the level of conversation I was having with him. He probably expected me to come up there and mumble and not be able to properly articulate myself. Yeah, I looked in his eye. I'm familiar with that type of guy.
Do you think that he's what you would call like a puppet master?
Definitely, of course, of course. Agent 20.
Graham Mason.
The man's father got pardoned by the Clinton administration for being a fucking criminal, dog.
Yeah.
The facts are the facts, man. They worship white people out there. Where we come from, it ain't the same.
Mhm. See, that's
Uh,
what I don't get about Brick. Like Brick should know better.
Man, I don't even know who. Like, and
hey,
he on that complaining right now. Adam don't answer his calls no more.
I seen that.
Goofy as hell. That man ain't your friend, man. Dude, that's not your friend, man. You was an employee for dude.
The whole time I thought he was playing Adam.
Man, hell no, man. I tried to tell dude some shit. First thing he do is go tell Adam.
Man,
Them all his little boyfriends. He did each Adam Diddy Jr.
that's crazy.
Man, Diddy party freak off sound like a perfect Friday night.
I mean, yeah, Adam does have that little plug talk thing. You know, I know that shit weird. I heard he do that in the same studio that he do his podcast in.
The man asking to see the man wore a thong on camera, bro. Showed his cakes on the camera, man.
Wow.
Sucker shit.
See, but my problem with like gay members going up on that show is if they know if a regular person in the street or a black person was to say half the things Adam said, it would have been a fight to the death. But because of this little clout, they'll let Adam say whatever.
That's out there in California. You
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do that shit where I'm from. That's
Where
out
you
there.
Where you from?
Chicago.
Chicago. Okay.
Everybody who did that shit that Adam do got killed where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
White and black. They shot Chirac Hilmer, the white dude, they shot him up.
That's crazy.
Facts, bro. Facts is facts.
See, like I know Adam's getting extorted, but I just don't understand how he letting so much shit fly. That shit crazy.
Bro, his platform, he not getting extorted, man.
Nah.
Adam not getting it. I don't want to talk about them no more.
All right.
I got a question for you. Out of like all the states you've been to, what's the most active state?
Chicago, Illinois. Yes. Yeah.
What about Philly?
The most active period. The murder capital of the world.
Shit, bodies dropping like that over there?
It's documented.
Yeah, damn.
In Chicago,
Okay.
now you 13, you better know how to kill.
Damn, like, I mean, it's not, it can't be like that all over Illinois. Is it like that, like, just on those blocks, like 63rd and like those blocks, or is it like basically like that all over?
It's all over, bro.
Damn.
Like out there, people resort to violence a lot faster. I tell people like this: if you in Chicago and you in traffic, if you blow your horn at somebody in traffic, you better be ready to get in a shootout.
Damn.
Facts, facts. Gladiator school, my boy, the real deal. None of that lame shit they be on. Well,
Mhm.
yeah.
See, I'm from a place out here in California called San Bernardino.
I'm
So,
familiar.
yeah, it's a little different than like the whole LA thing. Like you're gonna get treated a little better. It's not gonna be a lot of like the fakery. You got a lot of people trying to be like LA, but it's very much dangerous too. It's like highly underrated dangerous. But I would say being in San Bernardino has made it clear to me from being a truck driver too that it's not the places that you see that have all the stuff going on. It's the places you don't see.
Absolutely. The world is the underworld for a reason.
Mm. So what basically like got you into wanting to start exposing people? I heard that you said that like your NDAs had expired and everything. So like what made you just want to do it? Like just say F it and just go against everybody that's just evil.
You know, in order to get my initial message out of protecting women and children, uplifting our community, and raising the thought process amongst Black people, a few celebrities had to be thrown under the bus. There were certain people who owed me money, didn't want to pay, and once they seen me on the internet, they paid up. You know, this was all a plan. I planned this out carefully, and it worked. It worked.
Okay, and I got another question. So we see on the internet all the time that every chance they get, they're gonna bash Diddy because I feel that he's black and they're gonna try to make him the face of pedophilia and all this. But do you think there's like other white people over him? Like I heard like Lucian, the guy that's like the head of like the Lil Drake and Kendrick record label. Like who else like do you know possibly that's a part of this weird shit?
What you gotta understand is, bro. You remember you see the guy from Abercrombie and Fitch who got the same case charges as Diddy got?
Yeah, I heard of that.
He's white. You see what I'm saying? Diddy is not in the situation he's in because he's black. That's not why he's in that situation. The man was literally coercing people, lying to people, promising them things in order to get them in precarious situations to take advantage of them. And what you gotta understand is he was the middleman. He was the party guy. He was the one who coordinated these events for the other rich dudes. And this problem came to him because we all thought he was an owner at Ciroc.
Mm-hmm.
He was not an owner at Ciroc. And once he sued Diageo, the company who owns Ciroc, then this happened to him. Because, you know, these big companies got 6 or 7 billionaires on the board of directors.
Mm-hmm.
And he challenged them and he paid the price.
Facts. So you think Diddy is worse than Jay-Z and like the Dan Snyders?
I mean, you know, Dan Snyder is a pedophile. Uh, I hate them all equally, bro. It's no difference to me. Like once you, once you as a man have sacrificed your moral compass for lascivious activities, you're a piece of garbage. And it's
Facts.
not about your race; it's about the choices you make and your eternal desires of oppressing people. As simple as that.
All right, I got a question for you. So, being a celebrity security guard, they have what you have a closer look at everything that's going down, and
Right?
there's a lot of conspiracy theories upon labels getting their artists killed. Have you ever been in any situation where you felt like it could have been a label that set them up for that?
I can't directly say I suspected a label of doing something, but you know, I've had bounties placed on my head several times. You know, nobody ever died on my watch,
Okay.
but people have died though.
So
Mm-hmm.
you say you can't really say what it's from, but you definitely seen some crazy stuff go down.
A label wouldn't have life insurance on their talent for no reason.
Yeah, that's just like if a girl went and got life insurance on her husband, and her husband died. Like what the fuck?
She getting that check.
Right.
Yes, sir.
It's,
Facts.
these are life deals people are saying. What about I'm not
Absolutely.
sure if he asked you about Wiz Khalifa, did he?
Yeah, he asked.
Yeah, I asked him about that.
Oh, okay. How often do you run into situations like that where you'll meet an artist and you just come to be cool, but you realize they're like spooked out, like they're just ready to go, like they just don't want no problems.
A lot of times, most of the time,
Yeah.
a lot of times. But like I said, though, you know, I only spoke on people. I didn't speak on anybody I did good business with. I didn't speak on anybody that's a friend of mine. I only spoke on people who. I only spoke on people I saw from my perspective.
Got you.
Uh, do you feel like the Drake and Kendrick beef is staged, or do you think they really had beef?
Not staged. UMG has to pay Drake $250 million. He won the lawsuit. It's not staged.
Mm-hmm. Sheesh.
Hip hop is a competitive sport. Hip hop started by battle rap. Battle rap is what created the onset of hip hop. Yeah, you know, that's just how it goes. But you got to study the culture.
For a
Yeah.
fact. What do you think about Kanye's last interview?
Kanye had on a traditional Christian garb from the 1500s.
Okay.
He feels like he's at war with the Jews.
That's
Simple,
nothing.
simple as that, man. People gotta look at it. And you know, he was walking around with Bianca Censori naked because that's what the white slave owners used to do to the most voluptuous pretty slaves. Same thing.
That's crazy, man. So, what do you think about the Jewish influence on hip hop culture?
Hitler wanted to murder all of the Jews simply because they had control of all of the international banks and they pretty much controlled where the money went to. If one Jew makes $5 million, 5 other Jews make $1 million. They keep the money within their circle race, and that infuriates people at times. They got all of the markets cornered. They've cornered all of the markets, and then they don't get prosecuted by monopoly laws.
Mm-hmm.
That's a conspiracy.
Mm. See, some would say that they are the powers that be, but I don't know. I don't want to be too much of a conspiracy theorist on that.
It's not a conspiracy when you see government congressional hearings speaking about something called a cabal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a conspiracy no more, my boy. USAID spent $149 million on making transgender animals.
Mm-hmm.
How does that help humanity?
Right? They couldn't even help in the LA fires.
3 months before the fire, State Farm cancels everybody in that area's insurance.
Insurance. That's fucking nuts.
It's not a conspiracy no more. It's a fact now.
So you think that fire, you think that was basically a move for them to build the new city that they want to build by the next Olympics?
A land grab is a land grab. In the Amazon rainforest, logging companies set fire to areas where they can't convince the indigenous population to leave. It's the same thing. Same thing. It's no different.
That's how they got America.
History was written by the best group of killers, my boy.
Facts. Shit. Yeah, hey bro, you got any more questions for Big Homie? I pretty much asked all the questions that I got right now. I know you have a few more though.
Nah, man. Actually, I'm all questioned out. But yeah, it was good talking to you. Good meeting you. I'm Nam, like I said.
Nice meeting you, Nam.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You had called me like cooking and stuff. I had to get some stuff together. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Good talking to you. Shout out to Chirac and all them. What's up, bro?
Tuga, tuga. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Nice chopping it up with y'all.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, brother.